Mm, Shalom, Soraim Tovim, Mashlomcha. I think it's the dog's time to go. He's right here in the closet, his little dog closet. He's just been dead. Not literally, but he hasn't been eating. He has been drinking water. He's dying. Like, his eyes have been going blue, and I barely noticed about a year and a half ago. And I've been putting eye drops in to make it the illusion that he's still young or he doesn't have cataracts. If I could just keep his eyes from going blue, then I could stop him from aging and stop him from dying. That's stupid. Well, it wasn't stupid. It was good for him to have sight before he died, but like he's going. It seems, yeah. So there's an appointment that I made with the veterinarian clinic Wednesday. The guy's out of town until Wednesday, and 10:45 a.m. But it's going to cost money that I don't have. It's actually cheaper here than it was in Albuquerque. They're getting $52 for a wellness check, and then who knows how much will go up from there for the surgery if that's necessary, etc. But I don't think he's going to live till Wednesday. We tried doing the funnel, feeding this morning, and he was pushing it out with his tongue, like, just let me die, man. So even though I probably could save his life, I'm thinking I could drug him like I wanted to with the sleeping pills, and get the forceps down the throat. That could do more damage too. I don't know what I'm doing. I did get a good look down his trachea yesterday because I got my roommate to like force his jaw open really wide, and I used the forceps as a tongue depressor. So I actually got to see, the I got to see it open and everything. It was really cool. But if he's dying, he's dying. Nothing if it's his time to go, it's his time to go. Nothing I can do to stop that. No, this is about something else. I just wanted to, throw that in there because I think a few of you might actually care about the dog. I know you guys don't care about me, but Americans are like, oh, a dog. I once had a lady cuss me out on Facebook and accuse me of animal abuse because I don't buy my dog the most expensive organic dog food, but I feed him cheap dog food. And I told her, lady, you're talking about an animal that eats poop and rotten roadkill and stuff like that. I think you're projecting your human stuff onto the dog. Anyway, no. So this morning when I was having fun with the white Christian, drug addicted porn consumers, I started googling things, and I knew some Jews oppose marijuana. I just didn't know to what extent and things like that. Like I knew about Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, right? And Alex Borenson, I think it is. Yeah. But those are about it. My succumbing to anti Semitism was just thinking Jews are behind all Jews. Jews are pro drugs and pro pornography, etc. Right? Jews are behind drugs and porn, which is hilarious because then you get these anti Semites who are also consumers of drugs and porn. So it's like, wait, you're hating the Jews for being behind the drugs and porn, but you don't want to give up the drugs and the porn? Does that make any sense? Does that make sense to you? Okay. Yeah. So with that, I came across this website. I'll see if I can pull it up here in my history while I'm doing this recording. But it said, "Want to save Jewish lives? Recriminalize marijuana." And that was because of Coyote Treyobori, or I can't remember the guy's name, but This Holocaust survivor woman was murdered by a black Muslim immigrant from Africa, an African immigrant, and his legal defense was cannabis-induced psychosis. So a lot of anti-Semites say that the Jews are behind immigration and all this other stuff. They got a joint with blood dripping on it. Holy shit! And Kobili Traore, there it is. Yeah, Sarah Halimi's case marks a new milestone for the already embattled French Jewish community after a drawn-out court case. On Wednesday, November 27th, a Paris judge dropped the murder charges against Halimi's killer, Kobili Traore, 29, on the grounds that smoking pot had caused him to suffer a massive psychotic episode. According to police records, Traore beat and tortured Halimi for hours, at one point with French police standing just outside her door as they waited for another unit to arrive. While calls to the police reported hearing a woman's screams and a man shouting Allahu Akbar. The torture ended when Traore shoved Halimi, a retired kindergarten teacher, off her third floor balcony as she fell to her death. The London-based Jewish Chronicle quotes a lawyer representing the Halimi family on the consequences of the decision. You're saying that people can walk free after carrying out a criminal action just because they were allegedly not aware of the effects of drugs or other substances? Asked Francis Spiner. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sure I am. Will this apply to drunk drivers who kill children on the road? The verdict comes in the midst of ongoing efforts in France to legalize marijuana, leaving the open possibility that future murderers of Jews will have an easier time getting away with their crimes. I felt persecuted. When I saw the Torah and a chandelier in her home, I felt depressed. I saw her face transforming. I think that was his statement. Oh, man. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah. Ooh, wow. This is things are getting really bad for Jews. Uh, Traore, an immigrant from Mali, 27 at the time of her murder, a heavy marijuana smoker. He's also been dealing pot since he was a teenager and convicted for a number of previous crimes and served 4 different prison sentences, including one from which he had only been recently released at the time of the killing. On the night of the murder, yeah, no, goodness. So this is very confusing because when I got kicked out of the Convert to Judaism course, right, studyjudaism.net or converting to Judaism.net, that woman who was in charge of administration, she was very pro marijuana. She was always lecturing me. It's very medicinal. So you have a case of Jews versus Jews. And this draws a line of distinction, not between Jew and Gentile, right? Goy and Jew, but between good and bad. So if someone's a Jew or black or white or an Asian or a Christian or a Muslim, etc., and they're pro marijuana, they're on the bad side. They're on the side that murders innocent people and no, it's cool, man. That old lady was gonna die anyway, bro. We all gotta die someday. That's actually a quote from a man who ran over a 9-year-old girl and killed her as he was smoking weed intentionally because she was white. He said he was white and said he did it because she was white. And as she lay there dying, he lit up a joint and said, "We all got to die sometime," right to her face. Pure cannabis-induced psychosis. So yeah. And then on the good side, you got Jews and Goyim against marijuana, right? and that's, I think, an easier way to look at things, because they kicked me out of that course for citing rabbis that disproved their rabbis. These are historical experts. And they got me in trouble in that course for proving that marijuana is harmful, very destructive towards families, societies, etc. And I actually began to think that, right? Because there are wealthy, powerful, rich Jews who are pushing marijuana. You can Google Jews behind weed, and you'll see like all kinds of stories and articles of all these Jews who are like, "Yeah, Jews love weed." Rah rah rah. Is an actor who's Jewish from Los Angeles, Seth something or other. He was in Pineapple Express. I forget the guy's name right now. Seth Green, Seth Rogen. Anyway, that guy, cannabis industry entrepreneur, investor, right? So it's almost like maybe the rich Jews are sacrificing poor Jews, like Sarah Hamili. Sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong. I don't mean to. Sarah Hamili is a poor Jew who's being sacrificed by these rich, wealthy Jews who don't give a shit about the poor Jewish lives they destroy, right? As long as they get their drugs and their money. Because I thought originally, along with that, that this was the Jews being bitten by the very snake they've unleashed on the rest of us, the snakes of drugs and diversity, African immigration, and immigration in general. And there are Jews behind immigration, but they're not just Jews. There's also Christians and whites, all behind immigration as well, all supporting immigration, pro immigration. I don't know if there's any Jews against immigration. None that I can think of that come to mind. And so to witness Jews as the recipients of all these horrific nightmares they've unleashed on the rest of us was karma to me. It was this psychological dynamic that I made a psych meme out of that I cannot find now. Oh, where it's difficult to watch someone suffer until you learn that they cause their own suffering through wicked or evil actions, and then it's enjoyable and humorous to watch them suffer. Yeah. So, excuse me, but I don't know. I just I don't want to cheer on the rape and murder of innocent people just because they're Jewish or Gentile or white or black or Mexican or whatever. It's very confusing, but halacha does state that all of Yisrael suffers for the sins of one Israeli, right? So you want all Jews to be good. Then what is good? Are they beyond good and evil? So say that they are God's chosen people. Tikkun Olam, to me, is a blasphemy in itself. Because the implication is that God made a mistake and the Jews have to correct Hashem's mistakes. And you could say that they're using marijuana for Tikkun Olam. Now, Tikkun Olam doesn't have to be religious. It can be political, global transformation, economic terraforming, cultural terraforming, societal terraforming, right? You're not killing a society, you're transforming it. Death is a transformation. So white Christian America has been transformed into, multi-ethnic, diverse America, and higher crime rates and STDs and single parent households and homelessness and welfare dependence and drug overdose deaths, etc., than there were in white Christian America. Yeah. But yeah, so you can say they're using marijuana because it helps stupefy people to make them incapable of resisting these globalist agendas. Right? It's lubricant for the globalist dick that's fucking us all. It makes people passive, less resistant, things like that. Yeah. More psychologically malleable, easier to manipulate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I should get back to my quizzes.